Hello fellow data friends. Welcome back to the last episode of our Not Yet Lost campaign on Iron Man. We are going to unlock the Not Yet Lost achievement and we will try to subjugate Russia. A small recap. We just fought Russia and conquered Minsk in Kyiv. And now we are missing one province for the expanding the Commonwealth's journal entry and the achievement. I see two paths going forward from here. Number 1. We wait 5 years, fight and beat Russia, and conquer the last province and are done. And I try to boost our GDP as much as possible to get the best numbers. Or we try to subjugate Russia. We have the unique situation that Russia is in our power block and the power block is a sovereign empire, so we have this subjugate interaction. But that comes with a lot of conditions. Our prestige needs to be 5 times bigger than Russia's. Russia needs to be at least 5 years in the power block, which is fine. We need 50% cohesion, and the big one, Russia needs to be a minor power. But that is possible. If we can force Russia into bankruptcy, then they lose 75% prestige. If we can time that with a humiliation war goal with minus 25 prestige, that is possible. We can drive Russia into default by starting a war and not ending the war until Russia is bankrupt. Then we quickly finish the war and subjugate Russia. A lot of Russians may die, but that is a price I'm willing to pay. But we also need more than 50% cohesion for that. And we have 0. Mostly because Russia hates us with a passion. So we need to raise relations with Russia. We need to raise it a lot. But we can also raise cohesion by getting more prestige and lowering liberty desire of our subjects. And Russia needs to stay within our power block. The game uses the same score as for the invite power block interaction. So if Russia would accept an invite into the power block, they will not leave. But hey, Russia really wants to leave. If I understand the game files correctly, joining or leaving a power block is not checked off by the AI. But I am not sure I understand it correctly. And I don't know if the AI checks this weekly or monthly. That would make a huge difference. So I will do everything I can to make a Russian subjugation possible. At first, we need better relations with Russia. I didn't care about the relations with Russia in the last video, and the last war made the Russians really mad. To increase our relations, we need to stop our rivalry with Russia. This will also help with leverage, which at least will help keep Russia in our power block. Rivalry massively lowers leverage generation. Look at the predicted leverage over Russia right now, we are not even in the list. So end rivalry and begin improving relations. This will increase our relations rather slowly, because Russia is still rivaling us and embargoing us. But we can't do anything else, because we need at least poor relations for most pacts. And Russia is belligerent towards us. That at least we can change, for a while at least. Right now, there is a Diploplaying about Greece, and Russia is likely to join against Britain. If Russia joins, we will join as well. That will not change our relations with Russia, but it will change their attitude. As long as we are fighting on the same side at least. Maybe that is enough for Russia to end the embargo. And yes, Russia sided with the Greek revolt against Britain. So we will join as well. We can't ask for anything in return, so we join for free. Since we are going to war with Britain, we need to prepare. I want a small squad, which we will move to Greece. The invasion force is perfect for this. Mobilize and move to Greece. And we want to defend. We want that war to last as long as possible, so Russia may re-evaluate their rivalry against us. And Britain might naval invade us, so we need a standing army ready in Poland, just in case. Mobilizing all 200 units sounds too much and way too expensive. So we move 100 units to the bully squad and mobilize them. And we deploy our navy to the Baltic Sea. And Russia's attitude already changed. They are conciliatory. Russia views Poland-Lithuania as a mistaken enemy. Sounds promising. Our war ended maybe 6 months ago, but I totally agree. We need to queue some buildings. We have free construction and just researched electricity in the last episode. But we also need demand for electricity, and we will use logging camps for that. Changing our logging camps to electricity will use about 40 electricity, which means 1 power plant in Warszawa, 1 in Silesia, 2 in West Galicia, 1 in East Galicia, 1 in Volhynia and 1 in Minsk. Once we are done, we can change the logging camps. And we need more motor industries. The power plants need some, but we need more in general it seems. Oh, and we need infrastructure in East Galicia. That means 2 railways. And 3 motor industries in Silesia and Warszawa. That will take 9 months, so we are fine for now. Our unit and some Russians arrived in Greece. Britain is sending soldiers as well. Oh, Moldavia left our power block. Let's hope Russia stays. Moldavia leaving improved our cohesion. Look, it is increasing to 2. The war over Greece started. Let's hope it will take a while. The only war goals are about the Greek states themselves. The war deactivated a lot of trade routes. I will leave them be, I don't need bureaucracy right now. Let's hope Britain does not destroy too many convoys. Well, their navy is vastly superior. There are 200 Russian units in Italy. Russia supports Sardinia-Piedmont against Tuscany, which controls about half of Italy. Well, let's see who wins. How can Russia lose that battle with that defensive value? Oh, I totally missed it. But Russia ended the rivalry and the embargo. We get better relations a lot faster now. A North German mass migration from Saxony, very nice. The British Empire is sending a lot of units to Greece. Will they not naval invade Poland when they are busy here? Let's move more units to Greece as well. We want a long war, although we don't want to lose convoys. The armed forces want secret police. No, I want more loyalists from guaranteed liberties. What happens when we are more aggressive with our navy? Let's move them to the English Channel. Oh, Britain is naval invading Russia. Let's go back. Invasion stalled due to our fleet. Our invasion force has low organization. I need to not merge armies during a war, it seems. Bad habit. And our fleet is winning against the British Navy. They have more ships, but also split them between admirals. Bad mistake from the AI. But British units already landed. Did they use 2 naval invasions? The front in Greece seems to be stalling, but we are losing a lot of convoys. What is the Russian attitude? Seems like even without fighting on the same side, they want to be friends again? Can we peace out? I think I will keep going. Okay, now Britain is really hurting our trade. Look at the prices for furniture and paper. But look, we need to produce more liquor. The barracks are using some, but not much. And the food factories would make a nice profit. Time to switch again. I will leave the war, but I will pay close attention to Russia and any future wars. So we capitulate and accept all 0 war goals against us. 2 weeks later, Russia is still conciliatory. Looks good. Electric telegraph unlocked. And we can change our first logging camp to electric sawmills. Now the power plant is hiring. And we can change more logging camps. And our convoys mostly recovered. That was fast. Look at the paper price. We need more paper. Warsaw needs a lot of paper and does not produce anything. Sure, they don't have sulfur, but cheaper local prices are good for our government administrations. And the predicted earnings look fine. And we need more explosives. Let's say 2 factories. And we have a surplus since we are not at war anymore. I want to expand my debt reserve a bit, so 4 new construction centers. An unplanned debate. Clearly, the Free Trade Party has better arguments. And Britain is beating up Russia. And no changes in the Italian war. Partisan papers. More paper throughput instead of support for the People's Party. East Prussia is missing qualifications. We haven't reached the full innovation limit, so we can build 2 universities here. We could enact commercialized agriculture. This should increase the power of the industrialists and weaken the rural folk, right? Since we are basically run by the industrialists, let's do that. We also have a small movement backing this law, so we get some nice loyalists as well. Oh, women's suffrage is worth almost 2 million loyalists. Interesting. And the Free Trade Party won the election. Very well. And Russia's attitude is still conciliatory. We are making progress, but it is still slow. But our cohesion is recovering as well. And Russia only wants to leave with 353 points. I think we can increase construction further. Oh, West Galicia is still an iron frame construction. Well, let's fix that. That will impact glass and steel a lot. We need about 700 more glass. Only Warsaw has lead mines, but West Galicia needs a lot of glass. So we'll prioritize glass production in West Galicia and build 10 new glass factories. Ironclad shortage. This shipyard is producing man of wars. Time to change that. Greece left our power block. The British-Russian war ended, but Russia is still conciliatory. That is the important outcome. A donation of knowledge. I never turn down free stuff. Urbanizing Poland-Lithuania is completed. That bonus is only for 1 state? I prefer loyalists anyway. Commercialized agriculture changed to study. Media endorsements. More success chance and less enactment time? Perfect. And we need to build more yet again. Our liquor consumption is going down again. Is it because our trade routes are active again? Yes, these guys are buying more opium than liquor. Can we export some? Yes, some at least. And we lower production a bit. Might help as well. But we need to build more. More steel, especially once our construction queue is filled again, and close. The predicted earnings of steel is rather good. Let's build some more, and some textile mills. Our power block upgraded to divided. Discord was into trade units. More enactment success is fine. We can pick a new mandate, that is a tough one. I love the 10% more construction, but the next upgrade does not look promising. The company at level 3 looks fine though. Upgrade foreign investment would give us investment rights into countries with lower rank in our power block. That would only be interesting if that would give us investment rights into Russia. But Russia will not demote anytime soon. Okay, let's go over our active mandates. Vassalization gives authority since we have several subjects. Police coordination gives us a lot of authority as well. We use that authority to tax our population and transform that income into construction. The construction mandate gives 10% more construction, which also synergizes nicely with our consumption taxes. Foreign investment. I don't nationalize since I am on laissez-faire. And I don't try to add power block members without subjugating them, so only leverage on Russia is of interest. But we barely get any leverage from economic dependence anyway, so foreign investment is mostly useless for us. Market unification may be interesting after all. We get an immediate company bonus and Russia cannot embargo us. They are conciliatory but still very hostile. I quickly checked the game files. Conciliatory is a break condition for embargoes, so Russia will not do it unless they change their attitude. More research is always helpful, but we might not play a long time anymore. I like trade route competitiveness, but we need more convoys and we don't have a lot of coast. Transport level 2 gives more convoys, but that is level 2. I'm rather undecided. I think I want to try transportation. We also need some tools. That will increase demand for wood and steel further. Voila, progress to voting. North German mass migration, nice. And we have commercialized agriculture. A nice bump for our loyalists. And our movement for women's suffrage is still worth about 2 million loyalists. Oh, minus 20 for the armed forces, who have 11% clout. Their military bonus is nice. The leader is a traditionalist, so if we remove him, that should be fine. We could invite the Scottish reformer. Okay, we clear an agitator slot. Then we invite the Scottish guy and grant him leadership over our armed forces. Now there's a lot less opposition for our 2 million loyalists. And this will give us a lot more workforce as well. By the way, workforce, we have free construction. We need some lead. Not enough qualifications. Don't we get a lot of migration? 2,500 a week. Oh, we get plus 10 migration from available employment. That means we have about 60,000 open jobs. But I can't find them. Urban centers have a lot of open slots. Services have an okayish price, but transportation is rather cheap. So I will start rail transportation in our mines. That raises demand for transportation and frees up some workers for the lead mines. For the logging camp as well. Now we build some lead mines. Now the urban centers also turn a small profit. By the way, we also need more bureaucracy and more tax capacity in Silesia. So we add 5. And some coal. And Silesia has also a lot of migration attraction due to open jobs. That is like 100,000 open jobs worth of migration attraction. We have about 50,000 in urban centers, 10,000 in artillery factories because there's low demand outside of war, but also low employment in food factories. So we need some labor saving in Silesia. We have a level 20 coal mine and they have a nice surplus, so we activate Steam Donkey and free up 20,000 laborers. Same for iron mines and lead mines and sulfur. That should be enough. Can we export weapons? Interestingly, we can make 2 level 7 routes which won't make money, but export so many weapons that you won't make money. Let's use both level 7 routes and see what happens. And this tiny artillery route will make some money. They're land based. Also one for the Belgian market. And let's prioritize some government administration. Okay, the artillery factory is hiring some people. Let's export a bit more. And we build a bit more ports in Bessarabia. We can only staff 1 harbor. We don't need the construction sector here. Remove it and add another port. We have a truce for another 18 months and Russia is still in our power block, fingers crossed. Vulcanization unlocked. We can upgrade our tools workshops, but we need rubber. In our Congo, we can build some rubber plantations. Let's build 2, although we don't have enough qualifications. Madagascar and Congo can build rubber plantations as well. We will build 1 each and create demand for rubber. Let's change a small tool workshop to create demand. Military statistics unlocked. Let's improve the training rate. What to take next? Wargaming gives plus 10% offense. That will help in the next war and also raise our prestige. I want that. The rubber plantation finished, but they don't have the qualifications. Too bad. Well, the production should increase slowly. A knife in the back. Either Turkish people are angry and many interest groups are happy, or the interest groups are unhappy. Well, we have 8,000 Turkish people. I don't care. A novel solution. Wait, plus 5% authority permanently? For real? Let's test that. Oh, there's a revolution in a subject of ours. But our subject has 1 unit and the revolution has no units. We don't need to do anything. And we need to build more. Again. At first, I think we can increase construction in general. Kyiv has a lot of peasants. They also have turmoil, but a lot of peasants. Let's industrialize Kyiv. 5 at first. Then some iron and some coal. That will use transportation, so let's add a railway. And some tools, and some steel for our construction centers. Now let's wait. The revolution started the war, but we will win anyway. And we won. Looking at our income, we need a lot more construction, like 10 centers. The anti-Russian League demands action. No, I want to be nice to Russia, for 2 or 3 years at least. Walls and wheat paste. We have a movement backing women's suffrage, so stronger movements are just fine. A campaign of banquets. One agitator gets a bad trade, but look at these buffs. I take that. Our construction center's finished, so we need more steel, coal and glass. And a little bit explosives. And paper. Australian mass migration. They are coming back to Europe. And I want a better health system. The Krakow Citizens Association. I want more success chance. And we need a lot more glass. Maybe we need less ceramics, but let's see. And the Greek mass migration. Our law progress to study. And I will see if I can export more. We have a lot of neighbors, so maybe we can export more without using convoys. But first, we queue some government administrations to get bureaucracy. And now I spam export. 131 steel to Austria, nice. Okay, I think we exported at least a little bit extra. We need engines. And we need more transportation in Kyiv. And again more buildings. And more convoys. Maybe we need to conquer more coastline. I will just spam max ports by the Black Sea. I don't care about the other buildings. And we still need way more glass and steel. Silesia has some free presence. So let's add 8 glass factories and 2 steel mills. 26 months until we get plus 20% convoys. Oil discovered in Congo, probably useful later. How's the rubber situation? We need to use more rubber. Possum seems fine. Rubber rush. More rubber for us. And we add a plantation. Suffrage rally. Either we get plus 10% success chance, or either 20% or less success chance but movement support. But we have a movement. Let's try the bottom option. We rolled the less success chance but more movement support option. The end result looks fine. I was snooping in the game files and found the reason why Russia is still in our power block. A nation is only allowed to leave a sovereign empire once the leverage advantage of the power block leader is below 30. That piece of the puzzle was hidden in the power block files and not in the join power block files. Our current advantage is plus 81. Now, I have no idea why our leverage was so high in the first place, given that Russia has 3000 leverage resistance, and even with a lot more modifiers, I don't think we could pass 1500. But this means we have to slow down the drop in leverage as much as possible. According to this tooltip, we are losing 0.5 leverage per week, so we'll reach 30 leverage in about 2 years. Now, our truce lasts only for another 4 months, so we could declare a war on Russia in 4 months. Though I am unsure if the AI will leave a power block during a war. If so, we could wait longer. Anyway, I will declare war on Russia before we go below 30 leverage. We also need 50% cohesion and we have 38. We can't improve relations during the war, and declaring war will reduce our relations and thus cohesion. But if we manage to kill Russia's prestige, the cohesion from the total share of prestige will shoot up, which likely will be enough to get the 50%. But reaching the stable phase will remove this leverage generation modifier, which will be helpful. We also get minus 5% cohesion because Niet has high liberty desire. The liberty desire will go down once our infamy goes below 50. We could just grant them independence. They have about 250,000 population and a tiny GDP. Well, that is a backup plan. For now, I will just build 2 paper mills to increase their dependence. They can probably not even starve them, but that is not important. Also, we need more influence to get more infamy decay and more leverage generation. That is why we'll make Spain and Prussia our rivals. Both hate us anyway. Both actually hate most of Europe, although Spain wants to befriend Russia. That might become a problem, but I'm willing to risk that. And we will prioritize glass production in Kyiv. We don't need so much porcelain. And we can change 1 logging camp to hardwood production. We don't have power plants everywhere. Let's fix that and build 1 power plant in each state with some peasants. Austria is importing tools from us. Nice. Oh, Prussia gets cocky. They want Silesia. That is bad timing, since we want to fight Russia soon. But I am not abandoning Silesia. They think they can take us? Fine. No war goal against Britain? Are we fighting Britain? The game shows us a Diploplay we are not part of. Weird. This is our Diploplay against Prussia. We could sway 4 nations. Belgium wants to join Prussia. That was probably the reason why Prussia attacked. Oh, maybe we can sway Russia to raise cohesion? Interesting. Time to arrange our units before the war starts. Actually, the setup looks mostly fine. The bully squad needs an offensive commander though. This guy can pillage. And we need extra supplies for all armies. Sounds expensive, but also rather strong. But our anti-naval squad needs more conscripts. We still have a lot of conscripts in our other units, but I think I will only raise the anti-naval squad. Mobilize all armies, and raise the anti-naval squad. Now we wait until the next phase. Women's suffrage, progress to voting. I move our main units to the front, so I cannot forget about it. Okay, the game forced war reparations on us. Didn't know that would happen. And Prussia added more war goals. Only return war goals, but we should still get some sympathy. Not really much. Who can we sway? Great Britain wants the Baltic Governorates or a trade agreement. For real? They will go to war for a trade agreement, which I would like as well. Let's check the other options first. Austria wants Galicia or Silesia? Hard pass. Russia wants their states back, but I want to keep them. And Bavaria wants to conquer the Rhineland. That is on the other side. I don't want to do that, although it would be fun. Britain, you drive a hard bargain. You get your trade agreement. Yes, Belgium sided with Prussia and Britain sided with us. We could add more war goals, but I don't want to waste infamy on Prussia. But the Prussian capital is right next to us. That means we can offer the Rhineland to Bavaria, since we can just conquer the capital. And that makes Prussia more likely to just back down. Very well. Oh, Bavaria already owns part of the Rhineland. That's why. How did that happen? And they are cut off from the Bavarian market. Well, not my problem. If Prussia really wants to fight, we will gut them completely. Liberate Westphalia. Liberate Pomerania. What next? Wait, if we do that, Austria might just unite Germany, right? We need to raise relations with Austria. And I want to humiliate Prussia, just because. Looks good. Either Prussia backs down, or they will be destroyed. Civilizing mission unlocked due to tax spread. Time to build more, and we need more ammunition. Silesia and Warszawa use a lot of ammunition. Silesia has a lot of peasants. And some explosives. And a bit more lead. That will be used once the rest is done. That will do for maybe 3 months. Great Britain wants a trade agreement. Don't we have one from swaying? Apparently not. Still fine. And we have women's suffrage. That means more workforce in the long run and 2 million loyalists right now. And we got the bonus from the armed forces. Probably because they have more loyalists now and that increased their approval. Okay, Russia's not backing down yet. And they won't probably. They only have -13, so we need luck that they will even consider backing down. And our health system improved. Days before the start of the war. And we are at war. I hope this wraps up quickly. And we have a lot of inactive trade. I will remove it for now. Prussia might not be a good trading partner afterwards. And we got some battles. Prussia's even attacking. Well, we should win this one. Schleswig wants to support for their independence. They are a Danish puppet, but I don't care. Declined. We need more engines and more steel. Austria's buying tools, so building more tools might increase their import. East Galicia needs qualifications. This means universities. And some paper. How about some coal? And a tiny bit livestock for more meat. This queue will last 8 months. Well, let's see. The battles look good so far. Hey, Britain is naval invading Belgium. Nice one. They should lose fast now. They're down to 30% manpower. Now they only have 40,000 soldiers left. And we got Brandenburg and Pomerania. Belgium left the war. I just wanted to check our leverage with Russia and it's not changing anymore, but it should move to this distribution. Well, strange, but I take it. Oh, a general died. This guy can pillage. And this guy is a nice defender. That organization drop immediately upon the death of a general is rather annoying, so I need to make sure that I can lose one general without going below the threshold. A mass migration from France. Very welcome. Even at war, life in Poland is better. And a North German mass migration. And we need more chairs and iron. And Silesia needs railways. We won. North Germany is not properly Balkanized. That happens when you mess with Poland. Our leverage with Russia is still stable and above 30. No idea why, but I love it. And we have 49% cohesion. Okay, we could wait to get better relations, since the leverage is stable due to black magic. But I think we can work with this and go to war. Once we hammer their prestige, cohesion should be above 50%. We need another state to complete the journal entry. That would lower our relations with Russia by 12 points. Sardinia, Piedmont and Japan would join Russia. Except Japan is not allowed to due to an obligation. Indeed, we have an obligation, but why? Declaring war for Odessa would cost us 12 cohesion. Together, with possibly removing Niet, we should be fine. Maybe we can get help from the Ottomans, but they might ruin our timing. Anyway, let's declare war. Now we need to manage our armies. The anti-naval squad gets another commander, in case the first one dies. One defender and one attacker for the invasion force. Another attacker for the freedom fighters. This guy can attack and defend. Cruel is perfect for the bully squad. Oh, our relations dropped to minus 76? The tooltip said it would drop by 12. I think it's because Russia changed its attitude? Well, a warning in an Ironman game would have been nice. Our cohesion dropped to 21. That is harsh, but I think we can still make it. Time to mobilize and raise all conscripts. And we move to the front. Oh, we can't add an humiliation war goal because we're not rivals. We could declare a rivalry, but that will decrease relations. But we have to. But will leverage drop? Maybe we can just add the war goal and remove the rivalry again. Now we add the humiliation war goal. Oh, we can't break the rivalry for 1 year. Well played, Paradox. And I will add another war goal. I want to liberate Marielle. I don't actually want to do this. I just want a hard to reach war goal. I want to fight Russia as long as necessary to bankrupt them. And I want to occupy as much territory as possible to raise devastation and thus remove the market access. This will crash the Russian economy. And Moscow has 8 government administrations. If they lose access to paper, we will reduce the Russian bureaucracy. Russia gets +4 from gold reserves. This modifier can go up to 15, so we are somewhat lucky. Sometimes the AI hoards a lot of gold. Icelandic mass migration in modern nursing. We are still early in the Diploplay. I will turn on field hospitals for all units. And we need to build more, again. We need coal, and some fish, and some food, and some paper. Oh, our relations dropped to 93. But I don't know why. I may have misjudged the situation. We could sway the French with a treaty point. That would make the war rather easy, but then the French might conquer too much. Not worth the risk. The French even offer us support. I need to decline that. Russia is uncertain. Forcing a Russian backdown would be funny as well, but I don't want that. Let's make these war goals primary to lower the chances of a Russian backdown. Aggressive campaigning. We are rather good in timing war with Russia with our election, it seems. The Liberal Party is fine. Oh, our relations dropped because Russia added war goals against us. This means even better relations at the start of the war might not have been enough. But since we are at rock bottom, we can add more return state war goals. Worst case scenario, we get a nice looking country. Okay, we can't add more war goals. The Ottomans are damaging relations. Well, we are a warmonger. Production and agitation. I don't care. A lot of people don't like us. Let's increase relations with Britain and France. Our cohesion dropped to 0. That hurts. Niet is still not dependent enough. What are these guys actually producing? Let's expand some existing buildings so we at least partially own their GDP. Whistle stop tour. I like the Liberal Party. Russia is raising conscripts. Fine, that means they need to spend more money. The Russian capital is occupied by the Americans? Russia and America are fighting over Finland. What a timing. Some Russians move north. Well, the war itself should be easy, as long as we don't conquer the capital too early. Let's add a strategic objective for Moscow. And we are at war. And we are still not losing any leverage. A Greek mass migration from the Ottomans could be a nice one. And we already got 4 battles. We outnumber the Russians in every battle. We can upgrade the mandate. Upgrade transportation gives us 20% more convoys. That should be nice for trade. 2000 free convoys. And half of them are gone. And the Free Trade Party won another election. And we can improve our government. Not a perfect government, but okayish. And all our convoys are busy. And we need more buildings. Again. West Galicia needs more railways. And we are missing like 400 engines. Silesia has enough peasants for 6 factories, but we also get almost 7,000 migrants each week. So let's build 10. And more lead. And we need more hardwood. We can also switch more logging camps to electric sawmills. And more steel in Kyiv. Back to our war. Russia is really suffering. A Danish mass migration? Nice. And Russia is dipping into debt. Not a lot yet, but they have debt. That's like 18,000 debt per week. This is going to take a while. Police brutality. I don't like radicals, so we reduce our police institution to instantly upgrade it again. Wargaming unlocked. We got more offense. Always nice. And we can change our training methods. And we are spending a lot of money. I want identification documents, so we get more tax capacity everywhere. It is already done halfway for some reason anyway. Russia declared us their rival. That is fair, I guess. We are making nice progress. And Ingria has 23 devastation from the Americans, but I expected more impact on the infrastructure. Oh, it only affects infrastructure from the state, not from the POPs. This means we can't trash their market access on most states by devastation. And Russia managed to reduce their weekly debt. This may not work at all. And our leverage dropped, didn't it? Another Danish migration. And we need more buildings. We can build more groceries. Let's remove the liquor. And build more. Let's build more grain. That is in demand. We need about 2000 grain. That is 20 farms. And 3 fertilizer plants. Let's end the rivalry with Russia. Maybe they will do so as well after the cooldown. Can we hurt their economy in some other way? They are exporting a lot and use convoys. Let's sink their convoys. We sunk 173 convoys, but can we see the potential for convoy damage? That C node tooltip is interesting. Seems like Russia is using 21 convoys here. If we hover over the trade route, it highlights the actual route. Some trade is going through the Black Sea and by Japan, which is far away. Let's move to the Black Sea for now. I was watching the front line and it just vanished. There is no front right now. And the French are damaging relations. And the front is not respawning? Now it respawned. Move everyone to the front. Another mass migration. We sunk 570 convoys in the Black Sea. That is a lot more. And the Russian trade routes are demoting. Well, we killed Russian wood prices. That should cause a ripple effect. Well, at least this Russian logging camp is still making some money. And we sunk another 300 convoys. America is about to beat Russia. I'm curious what happens to the fronts then. Finland left our power block? Oh, they are an American puppet now. There's a new front in the north and some Russians are moving there. Let's move the freedom fighters here and set them on defend. I don't want to capture the capital now. Let's move our fleet to sink more convoys. That war will take a while. Look, the whole Russian force has like 40,000 men. They have no chance. And police force is level 5 again. Well, Russia's debt is rising again. Let's hope. Small increase at least. Oh, Russia is below the prestige threshold for a great power. Probably because they have lost a lot of soldiers and are not getting much prestige from their army. We need more buildings again. Kiev needs more railways and some ranches. Some coal. Tools here would make a lot of money. Let's add some. Breslau Advocate. Support is fine. Camera unlocked through tax spread. Russia is above the threshold again. That's a shame. Russia wants white peace. No. Russia has 1500 convoys near Japan. Hunting season. We sunk another 643 convoys. We got threshing machines from tax spread. And more events. We have 8000 Turkish people. I don't care. Next one. Political support is fine. We get some free loyalists, always appreciated. And we sunk 800 convoys. But the Russian trade routes are not demoting. I will set the freedom fighters to attack and watch them closely. Why is this province occupied by us? It belongs to our puppet. We can click on the C node to see the active trade routes from every nation. Russia has trade routes, but they have mostly zero effectiveness. That's fine. Wait a minute. We want Russia to go bankrupt, right? And occupying land will not do any damage. Let's change all commanders to defense. Then Russia has time to recruit new forces, which they will have to pay and equip. We need more buildings again. More steel and more paper. Silesia needs local furnitures. And a bit more tools with rubber. And we expand the rubber plantations in our puppet. We researched identification documents, which means we get more taxes. And let's research more minting. The Russian forces are recovering nicely. A North Italian mass migration. Nice. The Russian weapon prices are also slowly rising. Seems like the new strategy is working. They have 1 million debt and it's rising by several 10,000 pounds per week. Let's produce less liquor. Currently we are overproducing tools, but producing more would still make a nice profit, so let's build more. It's going up once I click, seems off. More iron and more coal. More trains in Silesia. Then we build some farms here and see if they can hire someone. We can build some furnitures in Mazovia because labor is cheap here. America is a naval invading Russia? Again? They are fighting over Finland. Again. Please don't, America. I need an expensive Russian military, not a dead one. What? Why are we occupying Ingria? The anti-naval squad is at home, but everyone else is on defense. Somehow, the American naval invasion made us occupy the Russian capital. Now the Russian war support will drop by 14 each week. I will recall my units from the front line. Maybe the Russians can retake the capital fast, fingers crossed. The Russians are reconquering territory, but not their capital. Come on. Ah, they retook their capital. We can move to the front again. That was dangerously close. The Russians are really pushing now. Let's hope they stop now that all our forces are back again. Russia has 2 million in debt. Let's hope that grows fast. The Americans naval invaded successfully. A donation of knowledge. Free universities are always nice. Okay, we have a GDP of about 100 million pounds and about 55 million max credit. Russia has about 50 million GDP, so probably about 25 million credit limit. Still a long way to go. Russia is a great power without a bonus from laissez-faire or the petit bourgeoisie, so they should pay 50% interest. This means each pound of debt is increasing their debt payments and we could probably death spiral them. Russia has almost all conscripts raised. They are afraid for their capital, I guess. And we need more buildings. What now? We can build a lot more engines. Let's build 14 in Silesia and 1 railway. Then we change the logging camp to get more hardwood and build 5 logging camps. The ranches in West Galicia would profit from electric fences. Let's do that. And a bit more glass. We lost the interest rate reduction from the petit bourgeoisie. That's a shame. Russia gets about 80,000 pounds debt per week. I hope that stays that way or increases. And Russia is losing against the Confederate States. They already annexed Finland. Wait, all our units are at home again. Let's move them to the front again. The 1 Baltic unit must be really confused. Oh, a front split, we need to adjust. And we get a mass migration from Russia. Nice. Russia is above 4 million debt. I wonder what will happen once Russia loses the capital. They get about 900 bureaucracy from there. Might hurt them. Russia lost against America and Russian war support is in freefall. Tula is their new capital. Of course it's an occupied one. Let's try retreating again. A Croatian mass migration. And we won the war, although it feels like we lost. Russia suffered a lot, but they are still a great power. Also, our cohesion is at 11, going to 13. We are far away from 50% and Russia is far away from a minor power. But we fulfilled the journal entry. And we got the achievement. The event gives more loyalists and some cultures become primary. While this win feels like a loss, we still learned a lot from this war. At first, this prediction about the loss of relationship when you declare a war is worthless. It only shows the impact of the war goal you use to start the Diploplay. But you lose relations for every war goal you or your enemy adds. And the AI will use all maneuvers even if you don't. The exact amount depends a lot on the war goals, but your relations will be a lot worse. Secondly, devastation only affects infrastructure generated from the state, not infrastructure generated by the population. So if you want to bankrupt an enemy through a drawn-out war, you need to check the main source of infrastructure for your enemy. In our case, Russia gets most of their infrastructure from population. Devastation will barely affect the infrastructure. So against this Russia, it would have been better if you just declared the war and defended the front line. This would guarantee a big, mobilized Russian army which would drain their funds. But let's say you would like to bankrupt us. Our big industry hubs get a lot of infrastructure from railways, thus from the state. Raising devastation in Silesia will destroy the market access. In this case, you can occupy and hold the states to tank infrastructure, which would in turn destroy the local economy and thus my tax income. Anyway, we fulfilled our goal and got the not yet lost achievement. We had some luck with our first independence war in the beginning, and I think you need some luck when starting with Krakow. You need at least one great power to support your independence, possibly two. And one of those needs to be Prussia or Russia. Otherwise, Austria just occupies Krakow and is done. But once you achieved your first victory against Austria, you should be fine. And I enjoyed the journey as Krakow a lot, and I hope you did as well. I'm thinking about playing Langfang next to get the minors not minors achievement. But I'm open to suggestions for the next campaign, so feel free to leave a comment. Thanks a lot for watching, and I see you in the next video.